There's been a lot of talk lately about how to care for your cutting mat. So today I decided that I would bring in my cutting mat and some of the supplies that you're going to need to be able to totally care for that mat and keep the moisture within it. I brought my little rotary mat. The nice thing about that is you can take it off from its base and you'd be able to clean the mat without any problem. The first thing that we want to do before we start cleaning the mat is I take a little scrubby like this and I just move it around, trying to get off any excess anything that's on it. It could be threads, it could be maybe a buildup of a chemical or something. I oftentimes will use my glue stick on my cutting mat surface knowing that I can wash that off. The next thing that we do is we take this into a kitchen sink or perhaps a bathtub. That's what I have found works best, especially if you've got one of the larger mats. What we want is we want to use a mushroom brush for vegetables. We don't want the bristles being too hard because we're going to be scrubbing it once it's inside the tub. What we are going to use, and I have an example here, this is 1 gallon of distilled water. Now, if you put it in your tub, you're going to be using your water from your tub. So you need to kind of make a guesstimate as how many gallons you've used. Then we are going to take white vinegar, and this is the container that white vinegar will come in. And we're going to take our nice little handy measuring cup, and we're going to measure a 1/4 cup of vinegar, white vinegar, for every gallon of water. We're going to put that in the water, and it's cool water, not hot water. Hot water will make our mat warp. Even warm water will. So we want to make sure that it's cool water and it's lying flat. As we let it sit, we let it sit for approximately 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, you're going to go and you're going to take a very, very delicate and soft detergent, something that is very mild. I have Palmolive here. I also like Ivory. Those are 2 very mild soaps. Ivory, the nice thing about that is it's just white and clear and not going to make any color in the tub, so you don't have to risk staining your mat at all. I used green today because with the Dove because it was green and I couldn't find any other in the area that I was at. And I thought, well, the mat's green, so this is all good. And we're going to put that inside the tub water. Now, we don't have to let it sit or anything at this point. Now what we do is we're going to want to scrub it. Once you've scrubbed it down and you've rinsed it in cold or cool water, then you're going to take two towels and you're going to place your mat, your wet mat, on the towel, and then you're going to place a towel on top of it. And you're just going to blot it dry. Another thing you can do is air dry it, but the problem is that it has to be flat. You don't want to be sitting on its side, and so if you're lying it flat, the bottom may still have moisture, and so that moisture won't come out. It'll start getting smelly and maybe change color. So we want to make sure that it's dry before we do anything else with it. And then once it's all complete, just put it back together if you've got one of these mats, or if it's a mat that you just normally will cut on that isn't a rotating mat like this. And I want you to take a before and after picture. It's really interesting when you see exactly how clean your mat has gotten or how dirty it actually was. It will take out any discolorations from fabrics. It will take out any discolorations from ink. I did have one instance where the ink was so set in, and it wasn't because of me. I had a customer that came up and was writing something and her ink pen broke. So that was just a situation, but it took out so much of it that I could not believe it. I was very thrilled. But the best thing of all is that it moisturizes your mat. Now here's another little tip. After you get that mat out of your tub, if you have a smelly dog, throw them in. That's what I did. It ended up making my dog smell better than he's ever smelled before. The vinegar took all of the excess smells out of him.